Okay, let's do this again. Oh, let's do this again, beloveds. Here we are. Here we are. Let's do this again. And I'm just gonna go without the headphones. So when you host live streams, learn this with me. If you take your headphones out, it automatically will stop the live stream. You see, we just learned together the power of sovereignty and empowerment. All right, beloveds, we are back. We are back, and now I simply gonna go and just speak up to make sure that you can hear me, and we are going for it. Okay, so the very first stage was all about soul awakening. Thank you so much for your heart, beloveds. We are back, and the second stage is soul empowerment. And I personally found a good 5 years of my path was dedicated to anchoring my sovereignty. And I found this definition of empowerment that I really resonated. It's a process of becoming more confident, right? The process of becoming more confident. What was that I posted? Process of becoming more confident, and I believe it was here we are. I can see us here. It's amazing. Process of becoming stronger and more confident in taking charge and leading your own life. A process. It's a process, right? It's a process. And what does it take for us to become stronger? Because this is something, when I always love using the example of a fitness. So if you love working out, it's the process of consistency. The only way you become stronger is two things: consistency and variety, right? So we're going to take the metaphor of a fitness. You become stronger and forget about, being at particular body weight and looking a particular way. I mean, if it matters to you, it's great. You can use that as your inspiration. At this point of my life, for me, it's all about my vitality. How much energy can I cultivate in order for me to fulfill the soul mission that I'm here to fulfill? So it's about consistency and variety, right? The more consistent you are with your physical fitness, the stronger you become, and then your body will plateau. You cannot avoid the plateaus. The body will plateau at a particular level, and that is where you're going to infuse variety, a new way of training to break to the next level. So this is how I see the process of sovereignty or empowerment. Your soul is inspired by growth. Your soul wants your personality, your human self, to master your life. And the same thing for me, right? There is going to be a spiral of empowerment, a spiral of empowerment. So there will be a process of growth, right? And then there's going to be a plateau where it feels like nothing is happening, or you're not moving forward, or you're stuck. And all that is a sign that you get to infuse variety, a new way of doing things, a new way, or it's basically innovation, right? A new way of approaching it. I never use this metaphor for fitness, but it actually but it actually makes sense, because you need vitality, you need consistency, and you need that sense of variety to continue grow stronger and more confident during this second stage of your ascension, of your metamorphosis, of blending of your divine self with your human self. And I'm going to offer you three key ideas of when I track back and I seem like what was the first key to unlocking my true authentic power? What was the second key? What was the third key? Because before I could see it as a journey, I would find myself in the process of it. I would be fascinated by a particular topic and I would be drawn to it, right, beloveds? So this is the second stage, and I also call it the stage of sovereignty. Now there is two aspects of sovereignty. You and I are sovereign souls. On the level of the souls, our sovereignty is our birthright. Nobody can take away our freedom unless we believe they can. Unless we believe they can. And the second aspect of it, to create a sovereign life, meaning you are the author of the movie of your life. You know how to generate your own resources. You know what are your unique soul gifts, your unique abilities. You know who do you serve, how do you express your divine potential, where is your soul mission. This is all the process of empowerment, right? Of tapping into this creative power that lies within us. Yeah, so sovereignty is your birthright, and sovereignty is created by every sovereign choice that you make. So when I began to find this deep connection to this whole topic of sovereignty, I knew I was being guided to something really revolutionary. I am the Starseed who is very revolutionary in nature. Maybe it's my Russian background. I grew up. I come from the country where revolution was the part of that country over and over again, where people would go through the process of seeing the old system that didn't work and come up with a new way of leading or living or creating their life on their terms. So from my perspective, this time that we live right now is very exciting. There has never been a more exciting time. There's never been a more exciting time because you cannot be lukewarm. You cannot be lukewarm. The times that we live right now demand us to make a stand, to take a stand for what we believe, what matters to us. And what it requires is tapping into the power. So right now, let me know in the comments the percentage of power that you currently operate from, your authentic power. Is it 70%, 50%, 30%, 40%? Where are you at? This is a very, very powerful question to ask yourself. Because power is neutral, just like money, beloveds. Money is a neutral energy. It's what we do with it. I find that money and power, they both amplifiers. They amplify what's already within you. So if you have deep devotion to your dharma, a deep desire to offer your best work into the world, to offer your best creativity, then if you expand your power or you expand your resources, what is already within you will go through amplification. So power and money are neutral. It's what we do with it. It amplifies what's already within us. And a lot of times, when we truly connect with our true, authentic power, with the power of our soul, we begin to create our life as art. We begin to see our circumstances not as obstacles, but as a beautiful stepping stone, as a beautiful ascending spiral to our next level of liberation and service. And the sun came out. What a beautiful day, beloveds. I wanted to show you how it's a sunny day in a glorious California. We had many rainy days, so when the sun comes out, it's beautiful. So 3 keys to opening your power. So the message of sovereignty probably is the most dear to my heart and to my life, because I have always wanted to be a sovereign woman. I wanted to be a sovereign woman, to choose my partner, my life partner, for the right reasons. I wanted to be a sovereign woman, to live in an environment that supports my channel, that supports my creativity. I wanted to be a sovereign woman, to work on my terms, to work on my schedule, to work in my cyclical feminine nature. So sovereignty was a progressive unveiling of this unique blend of freedom and power. And every time I would embrace the value of one of my soul gifts, and then would come out of the shadows and become more visible with my unique soul gift, and dove into a more and more courageous service, I would expand my experience of sovereignty. Right, beloveds? So this is really powerful. And I remember making myself this promise, almost giving myself this promise, that I will master any skill, I will learn any tool, any technology, I will find the way to understand whatever is required for me to understand, to refine my soul gifts and align with my true soul mission, my true blueprint. So this is the process of becoming stronger and more confident in your ability to take charge and lead your life. So I find that in the next decade, it will be incredibly difficult for anybody who resonates with seeing themselves as starseed to do anything that is not 100% aligned for you. It will be incredibly difficult to hold back your light and to do anything that you not deeply believe in. So there is also these two categories. You either see yourself as a self-starter, you only work for yourself and you grow your own business, you lead your own movement, or you see yourself as being a part of the team and you join somebody else's movement. And both of these perspectives, we need each other. Not everybody is a solo leader, solo entrepreneur. Some people are just not ignited by that path. Some people thrive in joining their strengths and their mystical gifts with somebody else's movement in collaboration, right? But both require that sense of empowerment in doing something that you deeply believe in. This is the soul ascension part 2, is your ability to believe in what you're doing and then continue to refine your gifts. You know, I often use this metaphor. I use this metaphor, loves, is that we come with our soul gifts already within us, right? So they're like diamonds. They're diamonds within our being. But just like when you find diamond in a nature, and the diamond is covered in what? It covered in coil. And if you ever saw videos of like when people find the raw diamond and then they shine it and then refine it, right? It's a process of refinement. This is the stage 2, is when you say, well, what are my unique gifts and my unique abilities? What are my unique soul qualities? And I often see there's these, with star seeds, you have these several, many expressions of how can you offer your soul gifts into the world. The ones who will be in the most demand. The ones who will be in the most demand. I would say first is creatives, healers, teachers, creative, healer, teacher, and then leader. So these are the 4 expressions that you can channel your soul gifts through, right? And I take a stand of activating all 4. I feel all 4 are important to activate, right? Because all these 4, what they're called archetypes, they help you activate particular set of qualities. And this way, this is the path that is so exciting, because you know you're doing your part in supporting this great awakening of the world. And you know, when I look back at my very first archetype was archetype of a warrior. And the warrior, you know, it's this energy comes through you where you say, I choose to step into this creative space where I choose to believe in my ideas, I choose to believe in my own power. It all starts with belief. It all starts with your ability to believe in the value of what you can offer, right? And yesterday I was watching Brené Brown on Netflix. I think it's called Daring Greatly. Let me know if you've seen it. So Brené Brown is a very, very well-known author and speaker and a teacher on the topics such as vulnerability and courage and authenticity. And she has this amazing talk on daring greatly and living courageously. And she was talking about how if you dare to live an empowered life, you will fail. And I like that she said that, you know, she didn't say you risk failure. She said you will fail. You will fail. And you will be laughed at, and you will be criticized, and you will be misunderstood, and you will be talked behind your back, and all of that will happen. But the process of getting stronger and more confident in tapping into your true authentic power is that opinions of others begin to matter to you less and less and less. and you begin to discern whose opinions really matter to you. And what I love how she tells that story, how unless you are in arena, in the creative arena, unless you're also sharing your message online or your voice, you are in service to others, unless you are in the process of becoming stronger and more confident. If you are just a spectator, right, your opinion is not welcome, your feedback is not welcome. To me, this is a huge part of embracing our true authentic power. It's letting go of the fear of being judged by others. And this is a very normal human fear, beloveds. And on the spiral of empowerment, I would not be surprised if you face that fear again and again and again. I face it. It's still deeply uncomfortable to read some of the comments that I get, and I don't really get I don't call them haters, or I get the sometimes I get the comments that tell me, wow, this person cannot really see the true intention, right? This person uses a very snap judgment, right? A snap opinion. And I am becoming more and more neutral, right? About what people think of me. Because people will have so many opinions about who you are, about your expression, about what you offer, about how you dressed, what kind of what do you wear. So opinions is just, they are opinions. They are somebody's opinions about you. The part of empowerment is being able to cultivate a sense of neutrality, coming to terms that if you dare to stand out and share your voice, knowing that living with regret, living with a sense of, you know what, I could have done this, I could have lived bravely, I could have offered my gifts in the world, but somebody else's opinion and judgment stopped me. So, making peace that you will be misunderstood, that complete strangers who don't know anything about you will offer you feedback and cultivating a sense of neutrality, just knowing that it's a part of the process. It's a part of the process. And I see it as a very cleansing process, because it's a part of the cleansing that you are not affected by criticism or by flattery. I believe Deepak Chopra was the very first one who brought that expression. And I remember I was obsessed with Deepak Chopra. I was listening to his audios, just loved his calming voice. And he had these soul affirmations, and he would say, today I am immune to both criticism and flattery. I am immune to both criticism and flattery. So very powerful, beloveds. I feel this is the first thing that holds people back in stepping into their power, because they're just afraid what people will say about them, right? And the very common voice is, who do you think you are to shine? Who do you think you are to offer your voice and to offer your expression? So this fear of being judged and being rejected by your tribe is as ancient as humanity itself. And what always helps me to stay neutral, I hope I hope this will help you, beloveds. This helped me, is to stay anchored in my bigger why. To stay anchored in my bigger why. I remember when I offered my very first energy clearing program years ago. Some of you remember me from that time. I've discovered the spiritual methodology of releasing karmic blocks and karmic imprints. And I was trained by a teacher and I got certified in that. And I just felt so on fire with that methodology. It was called karmic clearing. And I was so excited to share it with others that I dared greatly to offer it. And I didn't have pretty graphics. I didn't even have an assistant at that time. It was just me, one woman's army. And my devotion of offering that, it was driven by this deep belief in that methodology, helping people to see the connection between these hidden problems in their life and their karmic wounds. That's something that came either from their family line or from their past lives. So this is what happened next. I opened up that program and 3 people joined, right? 3 people joined, 3 first students. And I remember I stepped into the process and I began to teach, I began to share from the heart. And those 3 people, each one went through a massive upgrade of their frequencies. They manifested abundance, healing with their parents. There was just miraculous experiences. So I got to see my mystical gifts of a healing abilities activated through the process of stepping into experience and offering my gifts. If I missed that chance, I would not discover that ability that was laying dormant within me. So a lot of times we find our mystical gifts seemingly by accident, by stumbling upon it, right? You know, maybe somebody been coming to you for years and you are known in the circle of your friends as the one who is the great listener. And people have been coming to you for years and sharing their secrets and sharing their troubles, and they would feel lighter after they would share. They would feel lighter. What happens is people get healed through being in your energy, but you don't see it because it's as natural to you as breathing. So we often begin completely oblivious to our most incredible gifts. It's like a fish who swims in the water and doesn't know that the water is wet. So a lot of times through the process of life is giving you an opportunity. And it's a process of stepping into that opportunity with your openness and your curiosity that helps you unlock a new level of your own sovereignty, a new level of your own power. And we're becoming stronger and more confident gradually, right? Gradually, beloveds. And then I'll never forget another process when I wanted to do a retreat for many years. And I had this deep fear of actually committing and doing it. And I went through a lot of turbulence and self-doubt, and I'm so glad I didn't do it alone. I actually hired a mentor who helped me move through that process, and I talk about it in my business trainings. But I wanted to share that experience with you because when I brought my very first live event, and 5 people joined at my very first live event, and I stepped into this container and began to teach in person. my life radically shifted because I got to experience a new activation of new abilities that I had no idea was laying within me. A lot of times you find your unique abilities by stepping into experience, right? You find your unique abilities, maybe your ability to heal or to be a vessel for healing, when you are drawn to mystical topics. Maybe you are drawn to learn how quantum healing works, how distant healing works, right? Maybe you're drawn to all things shamanic. Maybe you're drawn to all things feminine empowerment. But there is a particular theme that is calling you to explore. And I encourage you to listen to that. To listen to that. A lot of times we call back the memory of our soul from our many, many parallel lifetimes. And each topic that we are magnetized to gives us a clue, gives us a sense of this is the right direction now. So a lot of times people ask me if I've always known that one day I will be teaching on the topics of sovereignty and thought leadership and mystical wisdom. Beloveds, I had no idea. My message was unfolding very gradually for me. It was like an onion or an artichoke or an artichoke. So it was like I could access the first layer, and then underneath that layer was holding a deeper message, was holding a deeper clue for the next piece. I have found it's a gradual process. It's absolutely a gradual process. So here's the three things. Here are the three things, and they all come from the mystery school tradition. So what I found on this chapter of soul empowerment, a lot of star seeds naturally begin to being drawn to mystery schools. Even the term mystery school is a code word. Let me know in the comments if you are connected to a mystery school lineage, or you're fascinated by a term mystery school, or you're a student of a mystery school. I want to see who is connected to that lineage. Oh, I believe it. Yeah, you're so welcome. So natural and good. Yes, right? So the mystery school, it's not like an organized, it's not an organized organization, right? Mystery school is the wisdom stream, it's a wisdom lineage that brings us ancient wisdom teachings. Whether you are studying theosophy, and theosophy, the literal translation of theosophy is love of wisdom. Where you study Wicca, right? Wicca, which is, the nature wisdom. Witchcraft is the study of magic, the study of nature magic. Whether you're drawn to shamanism or paganism, or any kind of a mystical thread, like a mystical Christianity or Sufism, in all these spiritual traditions, they have these hidden teachings. And why would they be hidden, beloveds? Because there was a particular level of consciousness required for those teachings to reveal themselves, right? So if those sacred teachings would be opened to those people who are not ready, it's like it's a day, it would be, they would not be ready, they wouldn't be useful for them, right? Because they're not ready. We live in a very, very powerful times where our life is a mystery school. Everything that we have in our life can be used as a way to awaken and to come into a new levels of empowerment. And all of these ancient teachings that were only available to initiates, people who dedicate their entire lives to activating their light body and to going through a conscious ascension. All of these mystical teachings become wildly and wildly available for anybody who is sincere enough in devotion to study them and to receive them and to integrate them. Because one of the things that come with the mystery school, if you are a sincere student of a mystery school teachings, you will receive an accelerated empowerment that will come with accelerated purification. Accelerated purification, right? Why? Because mystery school level is where you say, you know what? I desire to activate the fullness of my potential. I desire to create from my cosmic self. I desire to transcend any and all limitations. I desire to turn my life into art. Then your higher self says, okay, looks like you are ready for the mystery school curriculum. And tomorrow, when we are talking about the third stage, beloveds, it's all gonna come together. But this is a powerful one, right? Because the first stage is the healing of the traumas. And every trauma that we heal, we receive a soul power that was frozen in a traumatic episode. So I find this is a stage that is a really powerful. It's a stage of healing where you heal deeper and deeper, and the healing is really integrating all parts of you into wholeness, understanding what's happened, right? Embracing this aspect of yourself, feeling what you were not able to feel at the moment of trauma. So this is a stage of a soul empowerment where a starseed will become deeply fascinated with all things healing, whether it's a trauma healing, healing of the mind, healing of the body, right? It's a big, big stage. And if you're my fellow teacher, my fellow guide, we have so much work to do because so many people will be on this stage for this entire next decade. As you know, healing happens instantaneously and over time. It's both. Healing happens instantaneously and over time. Instantaneous healing is when you begin to see clearly what has really happened. And a healing that is gradual in process is a healing of your habits, healing of your environment, healing of your ability to communicate in a new way, healing of your choices. So it's a gradual process of empowering and integrating. Then the second stage of empowerment is learning to master the most powerful gift that was given to us humans is our mind. Learning to become so attentive to our thoughts. This is a very powerful stage to developing your, what I call, sovereign mind, where you begin to realize, wow, what I think I create. That my thoughts really, really make a difference. So you become a curious detective of where your mind goes moment by moment by moment. This is the stage where we discover the power of soul declarations, soul affirmations, right? or ability to have a clear mind. Meditation here, or maybe mantra practice is coming your way. And it's our ability to discern which thoughts are helpful and which thoughts are not helpful. This is a huge sense of empowerment. When you say, I choose to only believe and focus on helpful thoughts and unhelpful thoughts, the ones who are focused on worrying about the future or stressing about tomorrow or obsessing about what people think about you or becoming really, really hard on yourself. All of those are examples of unhelpful thought. So maybe at this stage, the work of Byron Katie becomes really appealing to you, right? Where you say, wait a second, I would like to discover the true power of my mind, how I can use my mind to create instead of destroy. And also a big part of this process, beloveds, where you begin to activate the full potential of your mind. I even have a whole program that's called Sovereign Mind, that based on universal laws, that based on a true potential when we activate the capacity of our mind. And you know what inspires me? This is a powerful race of human beings that used to be here. This is Atlantean priestess. And this is just the artwork that I got from a beautiful visionary artist that helps me remember our brilliant ancestors, beings from Atlantis and then beings from Lemuria. And Atlantis at the height of the civilization before Atlantis fall and got destroyed, what they were known for is their ability to master their minds, ability to work with the power of their thought, ability to create with their thought, ability to master visualization. So when I was reading from Akashic records that came, there was a very famous mystical scientist, spiritual scientist, Rudolf Steiner from Germany. He left a huge body of work, and one of the things that he was channeling from Akashic records was about civilization of Atlantis, Atlantean civilization, which was massive. It's not just one city. It was Atlantean colonies everywhere. It was the most thriving civilization at one time. And what I loved about how their women, their little girls, were trained in becoming oracles, in becoming masterful visualizers in a way. They were trained how to work with the power of the imagination, ability to imagine, ability to see a thing before you manifest it, before you create it. So it all starts with our ability to see it in our mind, right? Ability to see it, that's the second law of magic. Whoever is taking notes. The second law of magic is our ability to imagine, our ability to see it. You know, beloveds, there were so many years before I would find myself running on the beach. I live 5 minutes from the beach. This was a dream for many years. And I remember sitting down and visualizing myself running on the beach, starting my day, teaching, doing the work that I love. This used to be a process of creating it as a very clear and emotionally moving picture within myself before I was able to manifest the life that my soul gifts generously support my lifestyle. And I love a beautiful lifestyle that is inspires me, that I surround myself with beauty and I live in freedom. Before I was able to create that, I had an intent and I had my power of imagination, of seeing it. And when you see it, you know, you plant a seed in the garden of your mind. There has never been anything created great by a lazy mind. And where we lose our power the most, beloveds, is in the power of distraction. First, we believe the voices, we believe the fears, and then we allow ourselves to become distracted, right? And this is the part of the mystery school training. If we go back even earlier than Atlantis, we go back to Lemuria, which was the mother civilization before the Atlantean civilization. They would train their initiates of light in the temples, and they would spend hours and hours by learning to perceive with their third eye, by developing that inner sight, developing that ability to see things before they come into being. And this is a very, very powerful stage for a starseed, because the more healing you go through, the side effect of healing, all this healing work that you do, is that your heart space come online. Your heart chakra becomes more and more activated. And your heart chakra, I really invite you to see your heart chakra as a portal. It's a multidimensional portal. The way you access your parallel dimensions, your parallel lifetimes, is through your heart space. This is why, you know, when people are afraid to open their hearts, right? And they say, you know what? I'm not into any of that spiritual stuff, and you guys are weird and all this woo-woo. They live only through their lower three chakras, right? They live through the power of their root, through the power of their sexuality, and through the power of their will. But they never tap into exquisite, dynamic joy of creating through your heart center, through creating through your throat center, through creating through your vision. This is what the second stage is all about, not only activating your own channels, but also tracking how you do it for yourself, because you will be called upon to share what you learn with others. There is a great responsibility. The more spiritual knowledge we accumulate, the more there is responsibility of sharing that knowledge with others. There is no such a thing as just sitting on your spiritual knowledge and not sharing with it and having no consequences for it. There is definitely karmic consequences. And you know, I think for me was the biggest consequence was just the feeling of the pressure. Like, I know I could serve, I know I could offer my gift to the world, but why I am still believing these voices, why I'm still holding back my power, why I'm not reaching, you know, this new level of sovereignty that I know I'm capable. to reach or create. Mystery school training, empowerment, accessing a dynamic, authentic power that within us. Empower. And remember, power is neutral. It's what we do with it. We can work with power to create. We can work with power to destroy. Power is an amplifier. And this is why on this stage, you begin to receive initiations. You begin to receive your training. So you can learn to wield the power that is being open to you, right? You begin to learn how to wield it with humility, with devotion, with trust. So initiations start coming. And what are initiations, you may ask? Katerina, what are initiations? When you've been through one, or through two, or through three, you stop fearing them. You're like, I am here again. Ego purification process, here I come. So initiation is a series of experiences that are quite challenging, and they're designed to help you access a deeper levels of your own strength. And I have found, beloveds, the stronger is the soul, the deeper are the initiations that come their way. It's just like, what's the other metaphor? When you turn the metaphor of the gold. I read it somewhere that gold in its natural state, it's not yellow. It's a different kind of color. And I would like to find specific information. So if you find it sooner than I do, post it in the group. But I remember somebody was using that as a metaphor, that gold, one of the most precious metals on our planet, when it's unrefined, it's not gold at all, right? But when it goes through the process of being refined by fire, then we see these golden sparks and the golden beauty that comes online. I see that the process of soul empowerment is exactly the same way. It's a process of going through the alchemical fire, and it's purification by fire, and there is nothing to fear, right? There is nothing to fear. And just like you, beloveds, I've been through so many of those alchemical fires where you don't know if you have the strength to move through that initiation. Initiation to me is where you are being offered a test from your higher self to test your level of embodiment, to test your level of readiness to go to the next level, to receive this next level of empowerment, right? Are you gonna use this expansion of your power in the service of your soul mission? Or you're gonna use this expansion of resources or power as a service to your ego? And it's a very, very powerful question to ask yourself. When a test or a challenge or initiation comes your way, it's because you are ready to go through the next level of cleansing, a next level of alchemy. And the moment I begin to look at my initiations as my higher self honors, my higher self gives me an honor that looks like initiation. I'm being initiated into a deeper mysteries of how this universe works. I'm being initiated into a new depths of my creative potential. I'm being initiated into a new level of innovation, creativity, resilience, determination, blending my willpower with the will of my soul. This is beautiful. This is a very, very powerful stage. And this is a stage where community is everything, where being around your fellow starseeds is non-negotiable. This is the stage where you want to be at workshops, you want to be at retreats, you want to be at classes, you want to be at moon circles, right? You just want to be around your other mystical, spiritual, galactic starseeds. Yeah, this is a very, very powerful stage. In this stage, I personally have birthed the most amount of curriculum, because I kept tapping into these new ways of unlocking my own true power. And I had this deep desire to share what I discovered with others, whether it's how to master your vibration, how to master your mind, how to open up to the divine, great cosmic mother, how to invoke the power of grace, how to surrender deeper into your dharma, right? All of that came through this second stage of channeling this deeper and deeper power and finding these mystical gifts. Yes, ready for my soul sisters, Melanie says. Oh, beloveds, our unique soul gifts and abilities. What would you create if you did not fear, like sitting kind of lopsided here? Ooh, this way. This is my very, very favorite question to ask. It's even on my homepage on my website. What would you create if you were not afraid of your true capacity? What would you create? Another way to say it, what would you create if you did not fear your own power? If you did not fear what would other people say? If you did not fear the backlash that online world can be so generous, complete strangers who have no idea who you are will find it's their duty to say something about you in the comments. What would you create if you knew that you will be misunderstood, you will be criticized, you will fail, you will feel vulnerable on this path? What would you create in spite of all of that, knowing that you came to this lifetime to complete something really important, something that you have started many, many lifetimes ago? Yeah, Steven says, I would create a powerful, fully aligned body and mind. Yeah, and you would empower others, Steven, by being a blueprint of activated soul, body, and mind. And sharing with others how to. Yes, beloveds. Yeah, and if you just arrived Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are talking about how to not fear our own power. And then the second, Melanie says, a center and the tribe to empower women to connect deeply to true power in the life with their gifts. Rebecca says, a spiritual school. Yes, yes. So I can see the archetypes that are coming through your answers. So the archetypes is a set of characteristics that you naturally most fit to express, right? So I see a beautiful blend. Oftentimes it's a teacher healer. Is a lot of star seeds. They have this combo with teacher healer, where you offer your healing gifts, and then you teach others how to access the healing power within. Yes, welcome, beloveds, a retreat center. Yes, so we're all called to build communities, beloveds. We're all called to build communities, and this year, the 2022, it is my deep intention to bring innovation to my online community. And trust me, every time I bring something new, I go through the process, right? A process of tapping into that new level of power. And it is vulnerable, it is uncertain, it requires a lot of faith, a lot of courage. Yes. Keep sharing, beloveds. Those are beautiful intentions. And when you ask yourself this question, what would I create if I did not have fear? Then the second question, what would I create for the joy of creation? What would I create for the joy of creation? Right? So, it's I just remember giving myself the most powerful permission to teach what I embody and to teach what I am deeply, deeply passionate about. And that was the game changer. Because whether it was I was teaching about ascended masters, or how to become sovereign as a coach, or how to lead retreats, my main compass was this brings me so much joy to share with others, to help them liberate and to become more empowered, more confident, and more strong in who they are. And this never have failed me. So wherever you at on your journey, ask yourself, where's my deepest passion? Your passion points to your purpose. Your passions are meant to evolve and to transform and to expand. So trust whatever you're deeply passionate about. Trust that. Expand that. Learn as much as you can about whatever you're passionate about. And share it with others. Year 2022 is a year that I call maturation. Maturation into strength, maturation into mastery, maturation into generosity. Yeah, maturation in generosity. 2022 is the year that you can decide that you will not allow anybody to diminish your power by having other people's opinions matter to you. 2022, make it be this year where you say, I create for the joy of it. I'm going to trust what I'm passionate about, whether I am passionate about all things mystical teachings, mystery school teachings, and I'm going to learn about my soul gifts. I'm going to study because when I study, I remember something, I build my confidence, I find my style, right? Whether you say, you know what, I've been a student for a gazillion amount of years, it's time for me to come out of the shadows and serve in my own unique way, and I'm not going to compare myself to anybody else. I can be inspired by them, but I'm not comparing myself. 2022 will be the year where you can really link that your abundance is rooted in your ability to value who you are, what you offer, how you serve, how you can express your heart. Oh, welcome, beloveds. I see the new beings. I see new beings who have joined me. Empowerment, the process of becoming stronger and more confident. And you know, I really love like finding the dictionary definition of the word and then breaking it down. It's a process, beloved. It's a process. Empowerment is a process. So you also get to learn how to become your own raving fan. You become your own cheerleader. I will not stop highlighting this very, very powerful point. Of course, we all want to be seen. Of course, we all want to know that what we share with the world matters. The part of your empowerment is to find an inner way of acknowledging yourself for every little step of courage that you are choosing to make to keep showing up. If somebody else claps and praises you, that's a cherry. That's a cherry on the cake. But you don't source your self-esteem based on somebody's clapping or not. Your self-esteem is rooted in knowing who you are, what kind of mission you serve, and what are you here to do, why this lifetime is so important. This is also part of empowerment, of learning to not source our self-esteem based on people's approval of us. And we all start small, beloveds. As I shared with you, my very first program, I had 3 people. My very first group program was 3 people and 2 of my friends. So we all start small, but you know, there is a grace in starting small, because when you start small, you're not as terrified. You know, there's a small group of people who are very kind. You know, the worst critics are the ones who live inside us. The most of the people who will listen to what you have to say, what you desire to express, they're kind and compassionate, and they want you to shine. You know, the ones who are intentionally hurtful, usually I find those people who are intentionally hurtful with their comments or their judgment, you know, they are so confused about their own world or their own power. They just cannot hold or process the pain within them. They have to find an external reason to project their pain, and this reason can be you. So if you can understand that, beloveds, then you don't take it personally. You can say, I can see that unhealed pain is expressed in these comments. right? And this is very, very powerful. This is a process of rising in your power as a star seed, remembering yourself as a multidimensional being who here to be on this beautiful planet. And if you are here, beloveds, it's because on a soul level you choose to be here. So part of our continuing empowerment is becoming, learning how to be in our bodies, learning how to feel our emotions, right? Learning how to allow our life experiences to open our hearts. And I find that I continue to learn this lesson every single day. Every single day. We're never separated. Hi, Raquel. Good to see you. Hello. We are all in this together, beloveds. We are all in this together. And you know, this is really powerful because people often ask me, Katerina, how can I become good at expressing or being on video or teaching, right? Or gathering people like this? It's your willingness to start small. It's your willingness to feel awkward. It's your willingness to not have it perfect. And just like in fitness, you remember the metaphor that I gave you right from the beginning? The only way we become stronger physically is by consistency and variety. Two things: consistency, variety, and acceptance of plateaus. So, plateaus is the path of growth. Plateaus are a part of the path. And I have found that a lot of times for star seeds, it's very challenging for them to accept the plateaus. And you know, plateau is where you feel like you're like stuck at particular level, whether it's income level that you can't seem to go higher. You're like, oh, I'm here and I'm here and I'm here, right? And you're frustrated and you want to add more effort. But in order for you to go through any plateau, one thing is needed: variety, novelty, innovation, right? Doing something in a new way, activating your frequency in a new way, expressing your voice in a new way. And innovation is vulnerable by nature. So if you're not willing to feel vulnerability, you are not going to grow. Vulnerability can be our superpower. It's a sign that we are growing, beloveds. Yes, we need to let go, Marie. We need to let go. Absolutely. And you know, tomorrow's stage, tomorrow, the third stage of soul ascension is that living in flow, beloveds. I call it integration. The first stage is awakening. Second stage is soul empowerment. So first, soul awakening, soul empowerment, and the third stage is soul integration. The third stage, you begin to live your life as an alchemist. You begin to live your life in flow with the great flow of life. You begin to value both discipline and surrender. A lot of times in this stage of Gracie, you see Gracie. Hi. This is my furry companion. Hi, Gracie. I love you so much. So, beloveds, the stage number 3, and remember, this is a spiral, right? So you reach a deeper level of integration, and you're gonna go back to awakening of who you truly are in a completely new way. And then a new level of empowerment, a new level of integration. But I have found on the second stage, when we are discovering our true dynamic power, we tend to swing like a pendulum. we tend to swing between, I'm gonna let go, let God, I'm just gonna wait for things to come to me, or I'm gonna swing, I am in charge, I create my reality. So there is really very little balance. You're kind of trying what works for you. You're experimenting with how the quantum field works for you in order to have your own direct experience. Wisdom comes from direct experience. So how can you find your own unique blend of your ability to receive and listen, and your ability to take an inspired action and to see something through and not to give up in front of the first obstacle or the first initiation, the first challenge, right? So this is the real beauty of a soul empowerment, is that you begin to learn about who you are through your direct experience. And other resources that you are magnetized to, whether it's different spiritual trainings or certifications or teachers or events, they are all here to help you recalibrate your vibration, help you master your mind deeper and deeper, and help you see your gifts that are very difficult to see on your own. You know, one of the things that I see a lot, and this is why, I lead a lot of immersions, beloveds, because I said very little about my work, because the majority of this group, you have been exposed to my work for years. But I truly cultivate a big range in my work. You will see it. If you stay connected to my material, you will see a very big range from deep mystical esoteric teachings to thought leadership and creating your own body of work and building your curriculums and how to master webinars, how to teach, how to codify your wisdom. So there is a big range. And I love that I gave myself a permission to have that range. Because as I see it, in order for us to truly master our lives, we have to come to the place of power as within, so without. Right? And what I found, beloveds, why people seek mentors, why people seek coaches. Because the right mentor can help you see the most unique, genius soul gifts that you carry, that you're completely oblivious to. And because they serve as a mirror and they're able to hear your passion, your soul voice, they're able to track your life experiences, where your soul has been guiding to. They're able to name and to articulate your gifts in a way that you're like, what? I've been having all of this inside, right? That's the power. I deeply believe in mentorship. It is one of the sacred professions as early as ancient Greece, where you had all the major philosophers were brought to the king's palaces as mentors, right? And the young prince or young princesses, or they would be trained by these great luminaries and the great minds and the great philosophers. So mentorship is one of the most ancient professions. So if you have that desire to be a mentor for somebody else, because maybe for so many years people say, you know what, when I am in your presence, I find clarity spontaneously. This is one of your gifts. And it's up to you to refine it and to learn what it takes to become the most effective mentor that you can become, knowing that your natural gift is still in a very raw form. It's up to you to refine it. And how do you refine a gift? Experimentation, learning, guidance, right? Those three things. You're still with me? Today we're going a little bit longer, beloveds, a little bit longer. So very, very powerful. This is a process of soul empowerment, and I love this because I'm obsessed with creating different curriculums. This is one of my gifts and my superpowers to have this architect mind. And when I hear somebody's vision, what they are creating, what they're doing, all I see is these blueprints and frameworks and how to package their wisdom and codify it. But I get carried away. I teach all of that in my programs. And tomorrow, beloveds, I am going to let you know a very, very special surprise gift that I am offering you tomorrow, and a really, really powerful opportunity that you can take advantage of. One of the things that I always focus on creating every time you give me your time and your presence to learn and to ignite your deeper devotion for your mission, I want to reward that. And I want to offer something to you that only be available for you. So stay tuned. Tomorrow I will make it available. For now, it's still a surprise. One thing that also coming through when it comes to sovereignty, I have found when you are sovereign, you begin to create your best work. You begin to create your true art, the art form that can be channeled through you. And sovereignty is created, right? One sovereign choice at a time. And we unlock our power by transforming our fears, by learning to find joy in what is uncomfortable, whether it's uncomfortable for you to be on camera. I often share this with my students and my clients that if you have a message that you deeply believe in, it's a message that is bigger than you. Your message helps you transcend the fear of being visible, where you stop making it about you. How I'm being perceived? Do I articulate this clearly enough? Right? Do people connect with what I shared? It's your belief in your message. Whatever that message is for you right now, it will change. I promise you that. Your message is meant to evolve. And at this time, right now, there is a particular message that is beating in your heart, right? And an exercise that I want to offer you right now, you can write it down in the comments, or you can write it down in the journal. This is the number one exercise that I give to my premium level clients when they come to me with this "I am confused about my message" challenge. And I give them this assignment. And I say, you have 30 days to live. You have 100 of people in front of you, all on the edges of their seats. waiting to hear what you're gonna share because it's your last 30 days on this planet Earth. What are you gonna say? What really matters? What would you say? And then I time them. I give them 5 minutes to come up with the answer. That's how we get to the core of the message. So many times, beloveds, I see a lot of people wasting so much time by trying to get it perfect, by trying to get it right, by trying not to disappoint what people expect from them, by trying to just, you know, just get it just right. But you're not gonna get it right away. Just get it out there. Find the joy of speaking what's on your heart. Find the joy of giving a voice to something that matters to you. Find the joy in your generosity with your light. What is the point of a lighthouse if the lighthouse doesn't have the light on? What is the point of remembering our starseed mission if we don't dare to come out of the shadows and really share the message that would move others, move people emotionally, move people into action, move people into inspiring momentum? Tina says, okay, I hear you. I'm glad, Tina. I'm glad. Because, beloveds, my darlings, we don't know if we're gonna have tomorrow, right? We don't know if we're gonna have tomorrow. I feel the deepest illusion is that we assume that tomorrow will come. You know, this really shook me. This really shook me when I I received the news of a person who interviewed me for my first book. I wrote my first book. I'm writing my second book. A person who interviewed me for my first book, his name was James, and he was like a rising star in a coaching field where a lot of my peers were, and we were at the events together. He was a leader of my group, was a rising star. And I remember seeing him being very active on Facebook and preparing to take a group of CEOs to climb this massive mountain, and really just an incredible soul, fully on purpose, on mission. And I remember reading his post that he found his twin flame and proposed to her, and they were planning to get married in the summer. And next post, I see this beautiful, brilliant light, not only 20, I believe he was 27 years old. And the post was that he went to Thailand with his fiance, and he was a diver. He was a bomb disposer in the military where he served before. He would dive into the depths of the ocean to dispose bombs. So he was a very good diver. Well, he's in Thailand on this beautiful vacation with his fiance, and he dives into the ocean and never comes up to the surface. Dies under the water from a stroke that happens under that water. And when I heard about his death, beloveds, I have a reverence for death. Death is initiation. And it's a mystery of how it comes and when it comes and why it comes. But to me, it was such a shock into awakening that tomorrow is never promised. And this beautiful divine being, his purpose, part of his mission was to leave early and to bring a message through his death. It shook me deeply because after that experience, I just told myself, I cannot hold back my voice any longer. And I went all in, beloveds. I went all in, and I said, no matter what my path will require of me, every single day I am going to live in the way that I say, I gave this day my all. I gave this year my all. I gave this month my all. I never took my eyes off my vision. And if I die tomorrow, I left a rich legacy. For me, my legacy is a whole library of codified wisdom, life experience. Right now, I have 25 courses that are created in the last 6 years. I've been teaching online for the last 8 years, but the first 2 years were really a bunch of trial and warm up and lots of imitating of others. We all begin there. Terribly fearing my own style, my own uniqueness, not believing that it's valuable, wanting to be like somebody else. So a part of soul empowerment is embracing that creative genius that lays within you and remembering that it's a process. It's a process of getting stronger and more confident, getting stronger and more confident. And one of the things why I love sharing my online programs, you'll hear me talk about it tomorrow more, is because so much of my confidence I got from learning from my teachers and just learning how they would use very simple tools. They would not obsess about what's not important. You know, when I see somebody getting stuck in describing what they do and they spend a year trying to find the right words, I see a person who is afraid to express their true power. It's being willing to take an inspiring step forward, no matter what others will say, no matter the fear that you feel inside, learning to turn that fear into excitement, learning to say, I am so ready to make this lifetime my most sovereign lifetime. And I'm willing to commit to the process and to the journey that it will require of me. I feel a ritual coming up where we can go and call back the power of our soul that has been left behind or frozen. All right, beloveds. I've been talking way too long. Way too long. And then I also surround myself with the images of our benevolent ancestors and star nations. So my starseed soul is always in remembrance of the lineage that I carry as a starseed. Surround yourself with images that inspire you. Surround yourself with soul allies that help you remember. All right, beloveds. Shall we do a ritual together? Shall we do a ritual together? There's so many comments. Wow. You are so welcome, beloveds. You are so welcome. I love you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the range. Mm-hmm. So, in this ritual that I feel inspired to go together with you, let's connect to the power within you and within me. I'm gonna just close the front door. 1 second, darlings. So when we go to the ritual place, we enter a quantum space outside of linear time. And it's a quantum space that offers us healing, recalibration of our frequency. That's why if you bring your presence to any ritual that you do, you will feel rejuvenated, you will feel aligned, you will feel connected. So if you can stay for the ritual process, I invite you to do that. I also wanted to acknowledge that we are ending a 9-year cycle that started in 2012. And 2012, a big number of star seeds received a very powerful call to service. And then for the last 9 years, all of us were going through a cleansing and refinement and empowerment. Yes, empowerment is a gradual process, right? It's a gradual process of becoming stronger and more confident. I just wanted to acknowledge that, because if you ever get impatient and start feeling that you are not where you wish you were, you can work with that energy 2 ways. You can look at your 2012 version of yourself, and this will give you a perspective of how much healing, how much growth, how much transformation that you really went through in the last 9 years. And it's worth acknowledging yourself for. It's worth really honoring yourself for. And then looking forward, you also can acknowledge that the stronger you become, the more accelerated your journey becomes, because then your consciousness is able to receive a deeper activation, deeper acceleration, a deeper gift, a deeper initiation into mastery, right? So really powerful to acknowledge that. All mystery school students. So let's begin by breathing together. Imagine that every conscious breath you take, you invite your higher self to enter your physical body. And we're going to work with our second law of magic, our ability to use our mind to imagine, to envision, and to perceive on inner planes. I'm going to guide you to a place in your body where you can find your deepest power. It's always in your body. And in the Taoist tradition, they call this place the seat of your soul, where your soul enters your body. It's right behind your belly button. And one of the things that I love reminding others that you can connect through your imagination. Just how the baby was connected to her mother with umbilical cord. We connect, or we can reconnect with this invisible umbilical cord. To the source of all life, whatever name you call that source. I call it Divine Mother. Whatever you call it, this is your sacred right to choose the name that resonates with you. Maybe for you it's God. Maybe for you it's Great Spirit, or universe, or cosmos, or goddess. But your deepest spiritual power is in sensing that connection on a daily basis and visualizing your body connected to that greater intelligence, and feel the warmth of this connection. Feel the softening of your entire being. And while you allow this connection to deepen and to anchor, let's go into another process where you connect your root chakra with the Mother Earth. And this is a very simple way for us to stay grounded and rooted. I like to work with color. Color is very healing for our psyche. Different color invokes a particular energy. So whenever I want to connect with my deepest power, power of my ancestors, I visualize this rich red that also feels like velvety red. And I visualize it as a stream of energy that is moving from my root chakra all the way into Gaia. Sometimes I visualize a volcano and I work with that imagery. But I want to feel that primal, raw earth power channeling through me and reminding me that I am a part of a holistic system and I'm connected to everything. Just notice the sense of calm and strength and presence. And from this place of you connecting to your authentic power, imagine that you can invite the soul of your life's mission to stand in front of you as an energy, as a soul being. And me just naming it, my entire spine went through this process of straightening because I can sense something truly sacred is in front of me. And the soul of your mission may appear to you as a silent presence, or as an image or a shape, geometry, a being. Feel the soul of your mission with your heart. And the next step is the most powerful. I invite you to open your arms with your eyes closed. Imagine that you are taking the spiritual hands of your soul's mission and you're holding hands. You are merging. You and your soul mission are one. While you are holding the hands of your soul mission, this is a moment to decide, what are you going to leave behind? What story about your abilities, the timing of your life, how supported or unsupported you feel, confident or non-confident you feel, clear or not clear you feel, what you're ready to leave behind to ascend into a new level of your soul empowerment. Hear what comes up for you. Beautiful, beloveds. So you made a very direct, energetic contact with the soul of your mission. The soul of your mission is on in a quantum universe, in invisible world. You are its emissary in the physical. And it's a co-creative dance. It's a partnership. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and just remember, the only thing that changed is you open your eyes. The soul of your mission is still in front of you and around you. Wow, we went deep today. Your soul will continue to ask you, what are you willing to leave behind? And a lot of times it's self-doubt, fear that what you want to express matters. And it's a lack of trust in your own uniqueness. So all of those things you can lovingly surrender and allow yourself to be guided by your soul into new levels of strength and confidence, which is that what empowerment is about. It's a progressive strengthening, progressive growth and confidence. And it's truly a joy because one of the one of the biggest passions for me, I love empowering starseeds with tools. Because when you give somebody a tool or a process or a ritual like I just led you through, then you anchor something so much deep. Then you can, next time, you know what, I'm uncertain or I don't have clarity, but I can ask the soul of my vision, of my mission, what is the next step? So all of that is available for you. The world will be so radically different when more and more of us starseeds choose to embrace our true authentic power, where we choose to accept the discomfort and the awkwardness and the risk taking that comes with this path, knowing that we came to finish something very important and we can find the joy of service or joy of expressing our creativity, joy of the journey, because it's all about joy of the journey. That's where the beauty lies. Gracie is calling me. Gracie. She says, Mom, stop talking. Give me food. It's a sign, beloveds. It's a sign. It's a sign to wrap it up. I know we went through a lot. My opportunity assignment for you to journal. What would I create if I had no fear? What I'm going to bring in 2022 if I trusted my gifts 10% more? What would I create if I did not have fear? Tomorrow is our last transmission. And this is all about how do we bring it all together? How do we live from the place of creating everything from within, living our life as truly alchemist, where everything in our life serves our transformation. Finding our balance between discipline and surrender. Our balance between action and stillness. Activating that mystical Heros Gamos, the sacred union within. What is that all about? How do we become an instrument in the hands of the great artist? That's tomorrow. I am so grateful to have the gift of your presence. I know we went deep today and we went just a little bit longer. But I love being with you. I love being with you, and I love sharing this with you because, beloveds, all star seeds are meant to star blossom. May today and every day you choose to blossom. Blossom in your wisdom, blossom in your innocence, blossom in your beauty, blossom in your sovereignty. You know, to me, that's what life, life becomes this ongoing blossoming. And you accept the chapters like the season of a winter, right? Where things are quiet and nothing really grows. But those seasons are given to you to regenerate and to be ready to bloom in a new way in the spring. But I shall complete. I so appreciate this time with you. It brings me an immense amount of joy. And tomorrow is our last day, and I'm so excited to share something special that I prepared for you. And it's powerful to finish this year together from the place of inspiration, devotion, and connection. On this note, I'm gonna go feed Gracie, and I will acknowledge your comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please journal. What would I create if I embraced my true power and if I had no fear?